morning. It's Friday, end of the week. I hope everyone had a good week. Um, I hope you have a good weekend coming up, whatever it is you might have planned. Um, so I had said we're going to read from Course in Miracles, and we will. We're going to read some other stuff too. Um, let's see. So just give me a few seconds here. Hey, Squirrel Sniper. Hey, Jace. Poop howdy. It feels like I am reaffirmed in my objective. So what's my objective? It's a good question. I'm glad you asked. My objective is open-mindedness and to help myself and help people rediscover, reveal, and recommit to their own open-mindedness. Open-mindedness is our original nature. It's who we truly are. Open-mindedness is the mind of God, the mind of love. So, of course, the tool in A Course in Miracles is forgiveness. And this is from Manual for Teachers. How do the open-minded forgive? They have let go all things that would prevent forgiveness. They have in truth abandoned the world and let it be restored to them in newness and in joy so glorious that they could never have conceived of such a thing. Read that one more time. I'm going to read a few things and then we'll call it a day. How do the open-minded forgive? Remember, who you are is already open-mindedness itself. Spaciousness. Unconditional love. How do the open-minded forgive? They have let go of all things that would prevent forgiveness. They have in truth abandoned the world and let it be restored to them in newness and in joy so glorious that they could never have conceived of such a thing. Nothing is now as it was formerly. Nothing but sparkles now, which seemed so dull and lifeless before. And above all things, welcoming, for threat is gone. No clouds remain to hide the face of Christ. So I love that metaphor, no clouds remain to hide the face of Christ, because it's very Buddhist in nature. The Buddhist thought of clear sky, who we are, clear sky, always unmarred and unmarked by any passing cloud. All right, guys, give me a second. I'm going to read a few more things. Appreciate you guys joining me. I want to bring up my desktop, easier for me to read. See who else we have here. Semper says, having returned to sleep this morning, breaking pattern, was up too early this morning. Had the day off, so dogs walked, fed, and fast asleep already. I'm going to join him. Nice. Let's see. M. Johns, Majohns. Welcome, my friend. Jay says, squirrel, relax and enjoy, brother. Sniper says, M. John, greetings. So, here's the objective for whoever wants to join me. Can you remind the world who they really are? Can you remind your neighbor who they really are? Can you help reveal the innate beauty, the sinlessness, the guiltlessness, the joy of which everyone truly is? This is what Thomas Merton had to say. Thomas Merton was a modern saint, passed away, I believe, in 68. He was a Christian monk, priest, had a very contemplative life. And amazingly, one of the early forebearers of Zen Buddhism, Taoism, as well as Tibetan Buddhism. He was someone who was so inclusive in his nature that he found every teaching, every religion, every theology to be offering a version of truth. And he could see past them all. As well, upon his awakening, he had a very deep and profound awakening in Tibet right before he passed away. Then it was as if I suddenly saw the secret beauty of their hearts, the depth of their hearts, where neither sin nor desire nor self-knowledge can reach, the core of their reality, the person that each one is in God's eye. If only they could all see themselves as they really are, if only we could see each other that way all the time, there would be no more war, no more hatred, no more cruelty, no more greed. I suppose the big problem would be that we would all fall down and worship each other. Man, we would all fall down and worship each other if we could only see ourselves as we truly are, ourselves, and therefore see everyone else that way too. There would be no more war, no more hatred, no more cruelty, no more greed. That is the world. Of Course in Miracles says, there is another world in which I want to see. The world we see is based on our perception, and our perception is misplaced. Buddhist psychology, the first number one principle of Buddhist psychology is our innate nobility. We are truly good. We are truly loving. However, we have been taught to see the world a different way. And that's the world that we perceive because we are projecting our fear that we are small, that we are insignificant, that we are something less than we truly, truly are. Sepa says, love is the only thing that grows when it is shared out to all. Beautifully said, and absolutely true. So there really is right now a world that exists, reality, where war itself, if we saw it, would be an impossibility, where there's no such thing as hatred, there's no cruelty, there's no greed. That's the reality of the world. However, we are living in the world of our perception. Buddhism, Taoism, true Christianity, Course in Miracles, yoga, they all teach, that's the very first principles in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, how to still the mind so that we see beneath the motion of our perception and we see reality itself. And reality is so beautiful, so far beyond what we can perceive right now because it's not a perception. Reality is not a perception. As Thomas Merton said, we would all fall down and worship each other. So let's read one thing. This might be my favorite poem. And I'll leave this for the day. This is from Galway Kinnell, modern poet. And again, it might be my all-time favorite poem. Maybe. The bud stands for all things, even for those things that don't flower. For everything flowers from within of self-blessings. Though sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness, to put a hand on its brow of the flower, and retell it in words, in touch, it is lovely, until it flowers again from within of self-blessings. As St. Francis put his hand upon the creased forehead of the sow, and told her in words and in touch, blessings of earth on the sow, and how the sow regained the remembering all the way down her thick length, from the earthen snout all the way through the fodder and slops to the spiritual curl of its tail, from the hard spininess of spiked out from the spine, down through the great broken heart to the sheer blue milk and dreamlessness, spurting and shuddering, from the 14 teats into the 14 mouths, sucking and blowing beneath them, the long, perfect loveliness of sow. That's the objective. That's the objective today. Can you help teach? Can you help someone remember their loveliness? Can you help someone remember the long, perfect loveliness of who they are? That's it. Seneca says, until we look within, we will blindly go along without authority. This is true. But you know what? What does it take? What does it take to finally look within? Unfortunately, it takes a great deal of suffering. Let's see. Any advice for young and coming alcoholic? Yeah, quit drinking. Quit drinking now. Don't wait. Your life will be filled with misery, sorrow, infinite pain until you quit drinking. As Cypress said up above, until you look within, nothing's going to happen. Nothing good's going to happen. I know I was supposed to say your name, and you would have thought that it was funny. I'll be honest with you, this morning though, just not in the mood. Probably like in the afternoon, I might have played along with you. Let's see. It all started with a casual beer. Actually, it started long, long before that. Every alcoholic doesn't start with the first beer. It starts with the thought. It starts with the mind of addiction that came well before the first beer was ever even touched. Every addiction stems from fear. Every addiction stems from that feeling of separation, of loneliness, that you don't fit in into the world. And guess what? You don't. You don't fit into the world. You're not supposed to fit into this world. You're not supposed to fit into a world of division, of separation, of loneliness, of sorrow. You're supposed to see the true world. How hard is that? It's actually not hard, but we don't know that it exists because we are told from birth it's a tough world out there and you got to be tough to get through it. You have to judge other people. You have to get ahead. You have to push people down in order to get up. That's what we're told. And so, from that little spark of innocence that we are, came these great, great clouds of fear. And we live in a clouded sky. But who we are is that cloudless nature of the sky itself. We just don't remember it. Course in Miracles says that we are teachers and students at the same time. So you have to teach other people how to see past those dark clouds so that you can remember who you are. And in the remembering, you teach people. It's a continuous process. Jay says, Hugh, if you jump in the tub with beer, a fart could change everything. Give it a go. The fart that changed the world. That should be a book from Jace. The fart that changed the world. The spiritual, and the subtitle, The Spiritual Essence of Gas. Your gaseous nature. The true essence of gas. Scroll Seppi says, Jason, a brown ale for sure. Oh man, our conversation continues over from last night. So, I need you guys to help me remember. I need you guys to help me remember my objective. I'm going to give you another thing from Thomas Merton. My brothers and sisters, we are already one, but we imagine that we are not. And what we have to discover is our original unity. What we have to be is what we are. What we have to be is what we are. I think of yesterday morning, 5 a.m. I came here, I just didn't feel good. Physically, I was fine. Emotionally, spiritually, I felt a little fragile. And my friends showed up. Just showed up. That's all you need to do. Show up for someone. Jace says, spread positivity and reflect on love. Be guided by your heart and learn from your head. Nicely said. Nicely said, Jace. We have to be what we are. It's the simplest thing in the world. How can you not be what you are? Here's the problem. As Squirrel Sniper said, you don't know who you are. Don't know who you are until you look. You're believing the outer circumstances of the world. You're believing what everyone told you that you are. You're believing the media. You're believing teachers. You're believing your parents who have your best interests at heart, but they are deluded as well. They don't know who they are. It's an epigenetic spread of falsehood from who knows when. From the original myth that we were kicked out of the garden. You are in the garden right now. In the book of Genesis, it says God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep, but nowhere in the Bible does it say Adam ever woke up. You are asleep within the garden right now and dreaming that you've been exiled. Wake up. You haven't been exiled. You are amidst the very blooming of the flowers within the garden this moment. Wake up. Smell the flowers. Whatever you do, don't pull Jace's finger. Well, maybe you should. Maybe Jace has the fart of enlightenment. Maybe the role of Jace is to go out into the world and have everyone pull his finger, and they will awaken into their original goodness. Those are the words of St. Paul, by the way. Original goodness. Our original goodness. Why do we believe in our original sin when we are told from the very beginning original goodness? Jesus says the kingdom of heaven is within. If the kingdom of heaven is within, then without what you're seeing, that's hell. Man, guys, we are living in hell. Literally. And Jesus says, look within. The kingdom of heaven is within. And what you see from that vantage point, now you're seeing heaven. Heaven is here on earth. It's not anywhere else. Hey, Skits. Good morning, you bunch of wonderful weirdos. I like that greeting. Much love to y'all, and happy Friday. Be sure to spread them positive vibes and smile. It's infectious. Thank you, Skits, my friend. Jace says, Skits bro, good to see y'all. Hey, Skits, pull Jace's finger and see what happens. Merry Friday. Let me read Thomas Merton one more time. My dear brothers and sisters, we are already one, but we imagine that we are not. And what we want to have and what we want to discover is our original unity. What we have to be is what we are. We always think we need to work on ourselves. We need a self-improvement program. We need to be better than we are. We need to make continuous progress every day. But if we have to be what we already are, we just need to remember. We need to undo the world that we believe so that we can finally simply be who we are right now. If you're not who you are right now, or if you believe you're not who you are right now, it's because you are believing a delusion. Jace says, Eric, if you if you kindly refrain from using my finger for your dirty work, I am using your finger for enlightenment. It's the Jace has the finger of enlightenment. He's releasing the gaseous nature of true forgiveness. Jace's objective is to go out onto the world and heal with a tug of a finger. With a tug of a finger. Let's see. Skit says, "You too, Jace brother, and Merry Friday to you too, Scroll. Hope you all have a superb day. And if I pull Jace's finger, I fear I may never be the same again. You won't. You will never be the same again. You will inhale the gas of love, the gaseous nature of your true innate beauty. Jace is here to transform the world one fart at a time. And it all begins with the first disciple of skits. So, you know what? I like that thought. Amidst the difficulty, amidst the turmoil, amidst the cruelty that we see in the world, and it seems like it's winning. You know, this week I literally felt brokenhearted. Cruelty wins. The cruelest person wins. The one that has policies of hurt, of separation, wins. You know what? I was supposed to be brokenhearted. As Leonard Cohen said, everything has a crack in it, because that's how the light gets in. So, again, I've been reminded of my agenda. Not just love, not just forgive, but remind people how truly, 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 beneath all the crap, and man, there's a whole lot of crap, how beautiful each and every one of us is. As Galway Kinnell said, we need to help people remember how beautiful they truly are. Sniper says, I'll take a rain check on that finger. Skit says, the gas of love, laughing. Maybe such a way with words, Eric, brother. Whatever it takes for us to heal, you know? And as we were reminded last night, because all of us had a really good laugh last night, maybe the most perfect meditation is a simple laugh. A simple laugh. When you're laughing, when you're truly laughing, not that cruel laugh, not a smirk, not to laugh at someone else's expense. Here's the truth. It's never at anyone else's expense except for our own, because as Ramana Maharshi said, there are no others. If there are no others, every time we seem to be laughing at someone's expense, we're only laughing at our own expense. Sometimes we need to help someone remember their own loveliness. And there it is. That's the agenda. I wonder if I can do that today. I wonder if I can go out and just help one person remember their true, true loveliness. I wonder if you guys can do that. One single person. Maybe that one person is you. Hey, Tandra. A waft of wisdom. Tandra says, hey, Yogi, I was working and I could hear your voice. I had a YouTube tab open and somehow you were playing. Nice surprise. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. It says, a waft of wisdom. You make it sound kind of beautiful. The cloud of confusion dissipates. So maybe that one person that needs to remember, that needs to relearn their own loveliness is you. If one person remembers, the entire world wakes up. One person. So maybe you are that person. Maybe today is the day that you truly, truly, truly remember. Give me 1 second, guys. So it's almost 5:30. I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna take my walk. I'm gonna get out in nature, and I'm gonna allow nature remind me. I'm gonna allow nature to help me relearn my own beauty in spite of a world that right now is trying to teach me otherwise. But I appreciate you guys being here. Hey, this is Friday. I just remembered, even though you guys came in and said happy Friday. But here's the important thing about Friday. This is live stream Friday from our friend Tandra. So I hope to see you guys hanging out with Tandra. I'll be there. As I mentioned before, I don't always get a chance to participate in every live stream, but that doesn't mean it's not up. Doesn't mean it's not running. Doesn't mean I'm not listening. I'll be there. Sometimes it's enough just to hear the words. Sometimes it's enough just to hear the voice. Tandra's a true and dear friend. Sometimes it's enough to hear the voice of a friend. That's the message. Just the voice. Semper says, looking forward to the notification, Tandra. Tandra says, thanks, Yogi. Absolutely, my friend. Tony says, Semper, thank you. The post is up. So, before I go, there's a Buddhist story. This is true. It's in Thailand, in a Buddhist monastery. There was a 500, I believe it was 500-year-old statue of the Buddha. And it was dirty. It was covered in mud, caked in mud. Hard casing of mud surrounding the Buddha. Not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it had a certain reverence to it because of its very longevity. It had survived so much war, turmoil, revolution, civil wars, all kinds of stuff. And yet the monks who attended to it kept it safe. But it was starting to crack open. One day, a curious monk, not too many years ago, shined a flashlight into one of the cracks and saw something shining back. So they started removing the cakes of mud. Turns out the statue was gold and it was hidden. Monks had packed it full of mud so that it would survive all those wars, all of the crap that was happening. Beneath the mud-caked Buddha was a golden Buddha. That's the number one principle of Buddhist psychology. Start with your own beauty. Start with your inner nobility. Start knowing, in the language of A Course in Miracles, that you are a perfect son or daughter of God already, right now. You don't need to be anything other. You just need to relearn your own beauty. And it seems like the outer world is teaching the opposite. However, Everything here serves to help you remember, to help you relearn. Every every comment on a live stream that you don't like, every mean comment that might show up on your feed, every one who offers you something that seems to tell you that you are not in truth, absolute beauty, is a reminder to look within. The outer world, it's not the true world. The inner world, the world that exists beyond projection, beyond perception, that's who you are. And it's unconditional love. I hope, I hope you guys get a glimpse of it sometime today. With that, guys, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you. I'll see you over at Tandra's. Take care, guys.